Welcome back, everybody. I am the Pixel Voyager, and today we are blasting off at episode 7 of our modded Terraria series. And today, you'll see, I am already out in the woods. We are chopping some trees, just scrubbing this whole forest, because we're going to need a lot of wood. That's right, today's episode will be a little bit different. I'm going to take a break from exploring around for a bit, and I am going to build out on the house here. If we open up our menu and look at the housing tab here, we can see that these houses are all occupied by NPCs, which means we are out of space, which means nobody else has room to move in, so nobody else is going to move in. So from there, we going to need some of these new guys. So we're going to expand out a little bit. Probably just start a second structure over here, maybe make a little something on the ponds. Not really sure yet. I wish I could tell you that I had some good plans to get this done, but I don't. We're just going to freewheel it, and we'll just see how it turns out. Not a professional builder, so it's not going to be, you know, the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but it's going to be much, much nicer than what we have here, so it's going to be good. The other thing I'm doing, the reason I'm just taking the time to do this now, the next step in progression for us is to fight a new boss. The second boss we'll come up against is going to be the Eye of Cthulhu. And the Eye of Cthulhu has a chance of spawning every night once your HP has gotten over a certain threshold. Now, don't remember if that threshold is 180 or 200, but either way, we are now well above that. So I am waiting any night now. He has the chance of spawning. So this is just going to be something I can do to kind of pass the time. And in the meantime, kind of wait for him, give him a chance to do his thing. If he does spawn in, obviously, you guys will be the first to know it. Well, second to know about it. I'll be the first to know, and then you guys will know immediately after that. Once we get the notification that he is spawning, a little text will pop up down here. I'm going to hop straight up into my arena here. Hopefully, I will be able to outmaneuver him here well enough that we can survive and take him down. Like I said, I've got some good damage options, so not worried about the DPS, but I am worried about not being able to outrun the thing. So we're going to sort it out one way or the other. In the meantime, I will take a little bit of a break here. I'm just going to hop off to the snow biome so I can collect some boreal wood. Gonna hop off to the jungle biome so I can collect some rich mahogany. Gonna give us a few different options, a couple different textures we can use, a few other materials that make for some nice building, some nice crafting. And yeah, we're gonna make something that looks nice. So I'll be back with you once I get all of that gathered, and I'll kind of give you a rundown of what we've got in mind. Here we are. So actually, good timing. I was just getting back from resource gathering. I've gotten a lot of what I need. And you just saw in the bottom corner there, an evil presence is watching you. That means that the Eye of Cthulhu, it will be spawning here in just a few moments. Luckily, I already have most of the potions I need. Trying to be ready for this because, well, it was inevitable. It was going to happen. So I'm going to grab a few extra utility potions, and we're going to make our way up to the arena very quickly. Usually you get somewhere around a minute or so before the boss actually spawns. So just a little bit of prep time, just a little bit of a chance. I don't honestly know what my odds are here. Normally I would have some boots for running, but given that we're on our just base walk speed, could go well, could go poorly. It's a very, very common fight. It's the first thing you fight in any run, so it won't be my first time dealing with the Eye by any means. So it's just going to be a matter of seeing if I can just dodge and weave well enough without anything else. So if we do manage to kill him, I will get at least a little bit of mobility. He does have a guaranteed drop in expert mode. And that is a shield that gives me a little bit of a dash. It just covers a couple blocks, but we'll see if we can get it. Here we go. So phase 1, pretty straightforward. He's going to chase slowly behind me and release these little eyeballs out. The little eyes aren't too big of a deal. They actually are very helpful. Oh, this is already... Oh, I haven't buffed yet. Let's do that. He's going to release the little eyes. The little eyes are not too dangerous. They're helpful. They drop little restoratives, little hearts that'll restore 20 HP, or little magic crystals that will restore 100 MP. Either one of them will be good for us if we can grab them, but the tricky part can be getting around him to get back to them in the first place. Luckily with this iron skin, it doesn't look like we're actually taking too much damage. We're out of MP. Actually, I like this ball of hurt. So with that, he is now into phase 2. Phase 2, he no longer releases the little eyes. He'll just charge straight at us like that. So luckily his pattern is pretty readable. So if you kind of know how he's going to behave, he's not too bad. That is the attack we're worried about, where he lunges very quickly like that with a little high-pitched gel. That can be very difficult to deal with. Normally I would be able to get a little bit more distance between the two of us, but still haven't healed yet. So overall, I'd say this is going all right. We're managing. He will get more dangerous. He will use that lunge more often as he starts to get lower in health. So the closer he is to death, the more dangerous he is. I actually need to be using the water bolt more here. Another hit or two, and it'll probably be about time to heal up for the first time. Yeah, let's go ahead. No need to play it so cavalier. Yeah, so you can see now, lunging almost perpetually. That'll... So this is certainly the most dangerous part of the fight. We are getting awfully close. Oh, I don't have any MP. Oh, it's going to be bad. Oh, it's going to be close. 16. Ooh, barely got him. All right, nail biter of a fight, but we won. That feels fantastic. Got another in-action figure. That is nice. That's going to, I guess, decorate one of these new houses that we're working on. The Eye of Cthulhu. This is another one of these little relic-y things. Apparently, every boss is going to drop something like this. It looks like it's going to give me a special effect. We'll check that out in a bit. Right now, more shadow diamonds. Those are going to be useful for the magic storage. More magnum rounds. Those are pretty wild. Okay, so other than that, nothing fancy. The big thing that we got out of this is this treasure bag. This is where most of the loot is going to be hiding. So I'm going to clear a little space. So when we open it, right click, we'll see what we've got. Victory shards, demonite ore, and the jagged shield of Cthulhu. The shield of Cthulhu is that accessory I was talking about, going to give me a little bit of a sideways dash. I think it may actually... Oh, actually, it'll replace that royal gel. That's nice. Corruption seeds, don't worry about. The demonite ore is really the big deal here in the standard series. I can't say anything about. So modded, maybe these victory shards are better. But yeah, these allow me to craft some of the demonite equipment, which are pretty big upgrades from what I have at the moment. So that's it. Let's see if I can craft anything right out of the gate with these. Demonite bars. 62 of them, so we're going to get 20 bars on the dot. And here we go. Swords, bows, fishing line. It looks like... Dark wave. Ah, okay. So, yeah, new magic weapon here. It's just as good as our water bolts, unless it's doing something fancy. I think I'll probably bypass 8 mana wave of dark energy. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna craft it, because, you know, where's the fun in using the same old stuff? That's pretty similar to the water bolt. We're just not gonna get the bouncing effect. I'll have to see if it's piercing, but good deal. Very happy with that. That went quite well. It was exciting. More exciting than I like it to be in a lot of cases. But with all of that out of the way, we can sit down and we can really focus on the building at this point. So after that little interruption, I am going to cut out here one more time. I have a little bit of organization I need to get done before we're ready to start. But getting close now. But that's one of our main objectives for this episode done. So I will be right back. Alright everybody, so it has been said in the comments section and in person from a few friends that they enjoyed a couple episodes having a lot of explosions. So I think I'm going to accommodate their desire for blowing things up. The first step to building a new house is going to be destroying the old one. And I can think of no better way to do that than by, well, blowing it up. I have bought quite a few explosives. Turns out bombs stack more quickly in the shop than I thought they might. So I have 440 of them. I used a lot of the money I made from that boss. And yeah, we're just gonna be the thing. If there were a bomber class in this mod, which maybe there is, maybe I haven't gotten there yet. But if there were a bomber class, I think I would probably pick the bomber class right now. Because I also love the explosions. It's a good time. Poor NPCs are all going to be homeless, but you know what? Don't care. They're going to be fine. They're going to come back bigger and better than what they had before. So, this isn't going to catch everything. The chests here that have items in them are not going to be destroyable with bombs. I'll have to probably empty them out and move them on their own. But, this is getting most of the work done, and it's doing so quickly, efficiently, and, more importantly, very funly? What would be the word there? Enjoyably, I guess. Painter, stranded on a platform there, not having a good time with his life, but he's going to be fine. If I'm back now and I'm blowing up the house, you can bet pretty safely that I have a general idea of what I'm looking for. In the new build. Obviously, not going to get everything today. I still don't have a ton of materials available. So we're just kind of improvising at the moment. But I can at least get some basic shaping out. I kind of get an idea of what I'm looking for. So we're going to just finish up tearing this down. And I'll get started on the new structure. Once I get kind of the frame laid out and everything, I'll be back with you and I'll kind of show you. We'll go over some of the details. So I'm almost done with teardown. I'm just running into one issue. Before I can actually destroy these chests and move them around, I have to empty their contents, which, not a problem. I've just thrown some extra chests down over here, and I'm just kind of shuffling things around. But I have the painter doing a little dance over here on these platforms, and right behind him is a chest. And that chest has one item in it. It's a collection of seeds. Daybloom, I think it is. But because he's in front of the chest, I can't open the chest. And because I can't open the chest, I can't empty the chest. So on and so forth. You get the idea. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to deal with him. I can't break the platforms underneath it because the chest is sitting on top of it. So he's just going to be doing his little dance there. Eventually, I think I may have to just log out, and he will despawn since he doesn't have anywhere to live. The only issue with that is so will everyone else except for my guide here. So we'll have to deal with that one way or the other. Probably just going to have to log out. Once day breaks, it'll be a little bit safer for me to do that. So that's probably what we're looking at once day hits, which should be any moment now. I'm just going to log out, log back in, and hopefully I can get some houses built before night sets again. Because while the NPCs are around, mobs don't spawn, zombies, things like that. So if I could use that spawn reduction before the start of the next night, that's going to be helpful. So, well, the morning has broken, and that being the case, I did log out. I did log back in, and he's still here doing his little dance. So, drop back, plan B. Turns out, it's a pretty simple plan B if I'd have stopped to think about it for a moment. I'm just going to give him a little walkway. There we go. That's pretty easy. So, we got there in the end. I told you we'd figure it out. Okay, step one, choosing our building material, our foundational material. And I think I'm going to go with gray brick here for the floor, just for the moment. Like I say, all of this will be subject to change going forward anyways, once I get access to, we'll call them more decorative blocks. What I'm going to do is go ahead and start laying out a floor here. These NPCs. But you know what? The guide taught us a valuable lesson in episode 1. on how to get rid of these guys. Goodbye. So he's out of the way. If he gets in my way, or if anybody else does, we already see how to deal with it. So I'm creating my floor here on this level. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use an old building trick from another YouTuber. Chaos is his name. Outstanding builder, has a million tips. I've watched a lot of his content. Very enjoyable. Check him out if you're interested in seeing a real builder build. But he has this technique for building a foundation, what he calls a false foundation, where I build the floor over the surface like this, and then fill it in with blocks in the background. And it just kind of gives the building a little bit more stable feeling. And I really like the look of it. That's why he's the professional, and that's why I'm going to shamelessly steal his ideas. But that's what he does on YouTube. He specifically makes guides, tutorials for this kind of thing. So I don't think he'd be mad if he ever heard of me and saw me doing this. I'm giving him credit. I'm giving him citation because he is the master. I am just a lowly guy making some Terraria videos. So that will take care of that. So my plan for this structure, basically, I'm going to have a large central foyer. It will be almost entirely decorative, but it will basically spiral out into a couple of different wings. Those wings will feature most of the NPCs, and then I'll have, you know, maybe a crafting station here. Although the crafting station, I think I'm going to put somewhere else. Just a big open area where I can put all of the different crafting stations I need all in kind of one place. So this is mostly just going to be housing. This is the hotel, almost. The mansion, the hotel, the cats, whatever. We haven't really chosen a theme or an aesthetic yet. Well, that comes later. Right now, I just need a place for people to spend the night. We are going to, sadly, get him out of our way. No one saw that, right? We're going to put just a little stairway up, just like that, and he'll start making our way for clearing the path for our doorway. So going for the same structure here, where it's going to come down the stairs and out. Chances I could level some of this and maybe put something down in like a basement area, but for the moment, we're keeping it simple. All of this is so flexible; it makes things pretty simple. So right here, you hate to see it, but, you know, work needs to be done. That's not quite tall enough, but that's about the dimensions I want. So just like that. And then if I had a ruler to measure this out, that would be better, but right now we'll eyeball it. I can count up blocks later, but I think we're going to go with something like this. So entryway foyer here, this is going to extend all the way up, and then I'm going to have some of the housing on the side here, and I can probably going to stick about 2 NPCs in this level, on these levels, I guess. So split them up, something like that. And I thought I would have plenty of gray brick for this, but turns out I'm going to run out pretty quickly, I bet. It's kind of the hard part. I had lots of materials, but not infinite, and it will take me some time to go collect them, but if I need to, I need to. And I will start kind of mixing and matching here, so once the general shape is laid out, then I'll start going a little easier on the gray bricks. That looks about even to me. So yeah, gonna give a little bit more height, and I know these are squares for right now, and so we're getting away from the box houses, and we will, but right now I just need a layout. So give me a little while to play with this, and yeah, I'll be back in just a bit, and I'll give you the update. Taking a moment to check back in, I have most of kind of the footprint laid out. This is going to be how we start things out. So my next step is going to be converting all of the individual spaces into rooms. So I've got just a little bit of walling to do. This top part here where I'm standing, this is going to be where I move most of my farms. So we get this nice vertical space here where I can throw down clay pots. They won't be in the way. And then I'll probably do crafting, a lot of crafting up here. And then maybe down here for some storage, all the way on the bottom right-hand side. Other than that, it's just going to be filler up with NPCs. This won't get everybody, but I do have a couple of other spots that I'll be moving out to. So this is going to be kind of the main area, and this is kind of expandable if I need to. I've got plenty of room vertically, of course, all over the place. So this is going to be the start. I'm probably going to add... Let me grab my bricks one more time. I am probably, just for the sake of fitting more people in, going to expand this out just a bit. Yeah, still want to have kind of that tiered effect, but I do need to fit in NPCs while I'm at it. So, going to have several entrances. Pretty much every vertical exterior surface is going to have a doorway in it, because nothing's more of a hassle than having to run around to get in and out. Going to have probably a spiral staircase that leads up to this area. Always wanted to do a spiral staircase in the game, never have, although it should be pretty straightforward. So, making good progress here. We're going to start getting some of these people moved in very soon. Once I have all of them housed appropriately, I'll move on to my next build site, which is going to be just in one of the little caves down here off to the right-hand side. We're going to do kind of a little hobbit hole kind of thing, I think. I've got a nicely shaped area that I can just kind of terraform a little bit and hopefully get something nice and homey for some of the more earthy NPCs. So, yeah, I'll get back with you once I've made a little more progress. Okay, having to take a little bit of an interruption from the building here. You can kind of see what I'm going for. This is all kind of temporary. I'm trying to figure it out. But we're going to have some action very soon. It turns out a goblin army is approaching from the west. That's right, we are being invaded by goblins. So I am going to have to kind of hang out and kind of stick with what I've got for right now. Unfortunately, everybody's going to have to wait before they can be rehomed. This is probably going to be a cluster. The goblin army I was not quite ready for yet. But after you defeat a couple bosses, they can show up kind of at any time. So they are on our doorstep, so we will have to deal with it. And to do so, just going to grab everything I've got. The whole toolkit has to come in. They are approaching from the east, so they'll be coming from the right-hand side. I'm going to try to make it up to my arena. Well, actually, they are here. So you'll see there will be... there will be a lot of them. Luckily, it gives us a good opportunity to try out our latest weapon. They come in a few different varieties. Oh, wow. Some of them are archers, some of them are tanks, some of them will teleport around and shoot fireballs at my face. Honestly, most of them are... most of the types are pretty easy to deal with. The ones that I'm going to be the most worried about are honestly going to be the archers. The big glowing purple balls from the sorcerers, I can destroy them. So with this fast swinging melee weapon, they shouldn't prove too much of a problem. But those archers will stand way back, line up, and just start railing on you with arrows. If I had any of my potions, I would definitely use them. Oh. A drummer. He's new, but obviously he's a buffer. Hopefully my NPCs here will contribute. We will likely see a lot of NPCs die during this event. They do help out. They do contribute damage again, but they are not really designed for tanking these kind of high-end enemies. And I'm curious to see what I get out of this yew wood they keep dropping for me, too. Luckily, I spent all of my money on explosives earlier, so dying doesn't really cost us a lot. I'm going to respawn back down here, right in my basement, in the dungeon. I think it's going to be more of a dungeon when it's all said and done. Hopefully my nurse can survive, and hopefully my nurse can heal me real quick. Yeah, good. We're back in the fight for real this time. But, no, this isn't too bad. 34% through already. You can see the progress bar down there in the bottom right. So, a couple of deaths here and there, especially for my first goblin invasion. I'm not mad at a couple of deaths. I have definitely been put into situations where I get caught in just an endless loop, a cycle of dying over and over again. Looks like we're not really going to get into that bad of a situation. Yeah, this is going just fine. The staff's actually pretty good for us here. It does not consume a lot of mana. Looks like a good bit less than what the water bolt would, so I can just kind of spam fire this thing. Same damage, so yeah, more firepower, or more sustained firepower with no loss of damage is going to be nice. We can use our mandible claws here. They're going to do some good work for us until I get ambushed from behind like that. Yeah, okay. I did pick up, looks like a new weapon, a plasma rod, I think it was called. But a little bit too much going on right now for me to actually just... Oh no, I don't have any potions. They all got stacked in the chest when I was building. Let's see if I've got a second here. If I can find a warblade, I will try that out. And a plasma rod, sure, get it on the bar. We'll see what they do. What's this? Okay, so... It's a sword. Not quite as fast of a swing, but... looks like a good bit more damage. I will probably stick with the mandible claws, though. I think they do a little bit better for me. Alright, so stepping back out. Let's try this plasma rod. Okay. Sets things on fire, apparently. Well, that is unfortunate news. Our painter was slain, and I was honestly kind of counting on him. I was going to paint these gray brick walls to give them more of a white tone. I don't like quite how gray it is. But we'll have to deal with that. Once I get everybody rehomed, he'll show back up. Lots and lots of this yew wood, though, so a new material out of the gate. It's going to be good. Another warblade. At the very least, that's going to be good for money. Ooh. You know what? That's not the weapon. Good measure of progress against this fight is how well you can kind of push forward into the waves, and pushing forward actually pretty well. So, not a total loss. 93%. We're almost to the end of it now. I bet this sound is going to get old very quickly, though, especially in a spammable weapon like that. Yeah, Goblin Army has been defeated. So, at that point, everything stops spawning. It's just a matter of cleanup. So, a couple of these guys down here, they won't be a problem. So, overall, pretty good. I'll check out this yew wood to finish my cleanup, and I'll get back to building.